Good morning, students. Today I will continue lesson federalism and will discuss the topic the practice of federalism in India. Means how the principle of federalism is strengthened in a country. As the Constitution of India declared country as a union of states and it did not use the word federation. Although we practice the principle of federalism, as we know that federalism means there are two tiers of the level of the government, one at the central level, one at the state level. But this principle of federalism, when we got independence in 1947 and today in 2020, we look at the map of the country, we will find the states which were existing in 1947 do not exist today. And the first task was the creation of the states on the basis of linguistic means the language. So people, those were living in the country and speaking the same language, they were asked to stay in one state, that is called the linguistic states. And that's why the area, the boundaries of the states vanished and it led to the creation of the new states. But many of the states were created on the basis of the languages, ethnicity and geographical differences. For example, Nagaland, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand. Initially, the political leaders, they had a thinking that these states creation will lead to disintegration of the country, but in the successive years they realized that it has led to the unity in the country as well as easy to run the administration of the country. And second test for the practice or principle of federalism was, that is the language policy. Unlike the Sri Lanka, the constitution maker, they were very concerned about the practice of the language, so they did not declare any language as a national language. Means our country do not have any national language, but Hindi is declared as the official language. It means the people in our country speak 43.6% people, they speak Hindi language, and the constitution has declared besides Hindi 21 scheduled languages. So proper care is taken of these languages. Any candidate who is appearing for the examination which are conducted by the central government can opt to give the exam in any of these languages. But the government decided that the official work which was continued at the time of the Britishers in English was to stop in the year of 1965. But many of the non-Hindi speaking states, they agitated, and in the state of Tamil Nadu, the movement turned violent, where they wanted to continue English as the use of the official language. So the central government agreed with their opinion and allowed the continuation of the English along with the Hindi as official use of the in the country. And the third was the way to strengthen the federalism was restructuring of the center-state relations. What we see as the India got independence, many years the central government, what they did, they were ruling at the center as well as the state government. Means same party was ruling at the state level as well as the central level. But it means if in some time that the political party which was not existing at the central level but were at the state level, then the party in power, what they did, they misused the constitutions, and the state government was dismissed. Means they dismissed the parties which were against those, they amended the constitutions, and that led to the rise of the regional parties in India after the 1990. And this era in our country is known as coalition governments. Means what is coalition government means here? The parties, no single party in the elections came to power. So two or more party, they joined together and they formed the coalition or alliance or front, which is called a coalition government. And example of this, as we know, before this BJP to power, we were having that is National Democratic Alliances as well as UPA, United Progressive Alliance. So with this, the coalition government, what happened? The new culture of power sharing developed in a country, and which led to the respect for the state government autonomy. That means the state, they can govern in their own state in their own way. They are given total independence. And the next feature, which is that is the decentralization in India. What does it mean, decentralization? The means when power is taken away from the central and state government and given to local governments, that is the panchayats in the villages, municipalities and municipal corporation in the urban areas. But why do we need it? What is the need of the decentralization? Was means our country is a very big country, very vast country. In terms of population, the many of the independent countries in the Europes, they have less population. Means the Uttar Pradesh in our country has more population than Russia. Maharashtra has population in terms of population than Germany. So it is not easy to rule over such a big country with a two-tier system of government, that is the central and state. So there was a need to have a decentralization, that is the third tier of the government, that is the local self-government. Fine. So it was created. The people, local people, they know their problems, how to solve their problems. They have the suggestions, they have the ways to amend them. Then from where to get the resources, and easy for them to solve their problem. So there is a rationale behind decentralization in country and the importance of the three-tier system. So the government took a step towards decentralization, that is in 1992. And with this, what happened? The third tier, that is the local self-government, has made very effective. And what steps were taken by this in decentralization in 1992? That is, now it is mandatory to hold regular elections for the local bodies, and the seats are reserved in the elected bodies for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, and 1/3 seats are reserved for women. And there is an independent state election commission is created to hold the elections in the states for the municipalities, for the local bodies, which further strengthens the sharing of power and revenue. Means the state government has to share its power with the local governments as well as revenue with them. And this third tier of the government, which is known by rural local government or panchayati raj system. This starts means at the grassroots level for the progress and strengthen of the democracy, we have a gram panchayat. What is the gram panchayat? It is a council consisting of several ward members who are called panch, and these they elect along with these panch their head of them, that is known as sarpanch. And how are they elected? They are directly elected by the adult population. Means all those are adult, 18 years of age, have the right to vote. They are the member of the Gram Sabha, and they elect them, and that's why it is called as a decision making body for the entire village. But the members of the village, that is the Gram Sabha, they meet twice or thrice in a year to check the working of the Gram Panchayat, and they approve the annual budget for the Gram Panchayat. And the next step after that Gram Panchayat is the Mandal Samiti, Panchayat Samiti or Block Samiti. It is known by different local names. So how it is constituted? A few Gram Panchayats are grouped together to form the Block Samiti, and the member of this are elected by all the panchayat members in the area. And next level is, that is Jilla Parishad or district, at the district level. Now what happens? All the block smitis in a district together, they constitute the Jilla Parishad, and member from that district for the Lok Sabha and MLAs, member of legislative assemblies elected from that area, and other officials are the members of block smiti. So these three constitutes at the rural areas. And similarly we have these local self governments for the urban area as well. And in the urban areas, for the towns where population is less than 20 lakh, we are having municipalities, and the head of this is called as a municipal chairperson. And the cities where the population is more than 20 lakh, then we have the municipal corporations, and they are headed by, that is the mayor. So it is it is what happened means now, so this system of the third tier system is best example in the world, and all the members of these, the municipality total members are 36 lakh representatives, which is the more than the population of any country in the world even then. So it is the best example which has strengthened the democratic politics in our country, has helped in the deepening of the democracy, and given the right to the women to voice their problems. Thank you.